Good morning. It is January 13-ish. We've pretty much lost track of the days here in the pandemic, and pre-inauguration, there's so many elements pushing against our sense of normalcy. It's hard to know from moment to moment. And that's okay. If you've been watching this, you can go back, and for 5 years, I've been predicting that things must fall apart so that they can be rebuilt correctly. So let's all start the Be the Light meditation today by just taking a nice deep breath through the nose and out through the mouth. So if we can imagine that we're in the future reading a story to children, and they would say, how did the world get kind again and nice again? Can you tell me? We would probably, as the wise, the transition folks, agents, grandparents, say gently, well, it wasn't easy. Things weren't going so well. There was a lot of divisiveness and a lot of anger, and they didn't know what to do with it. And then the earth started having more and more water. They forgot to take care of the air. People lost their mindfulness and started acting out in ways to hurt each other and the earth. And so, natural consequences. Just the same thing. The mother comes in the room, it's a mess. She looks at those kids and says, you've lost some privileges. So humanity is in the stage now of losing some privileges that we took for granted. We haven't had a major world war in a while. We haven't had a breakdown in the supply chain. We've had a certain amount of certainty and trust in our government and in the systems that it works. But then you put one person here and a dark agenda here, and it starts really shaking up things that in the future want to be better, but have underlying decay. And it's all fear-based. There's many faces. But this is the time that all of the spiritual gurus, all of the spirit guides have said would come to earth. The time of the great awakening, coming of the Christed consciousness, for beings to see new potentials, and then there's those who will work out the old ways. So we're in the thick of it. And at my own home, I live in Olympia, so we have a lot of water. And lately, our well has so much pressure, or there's something dysfunctioning, it can't hold all that pressure. Flooding. Americans can't hold all this pressure. The valves, the thinking, the divisiveness, we're not working as a holistic mechanism for the goodness for humanity. So all this pressure is bursting out, and it's causing drama and trauma. It's causing flooding in our house now, repeated flooding, till we get to the core and the reason and heal it. And until we get to the core and the reason mankind can't be settled and love his brother as himself, is because he has not aligned with the principle of the Creator's mandate for love to be the creative force on this planet, not fear. And fear got in. And fear is whooping it up to the point where it's frothing and squirting, and the wells of America and different places in the world are catalyzing the perfect storm. So when it rains, it pours. However, we can look at history and take a deep breath and say, this too shall pass. Last night it stormed so hard, the house was shaking, the water, all the faucets on in the house and outside. This morning, the sun is peeking out. Calm. It's like, did that really happen? Yes, This is a natural zig and zag, and we will make it through this. But again, it might be uncomfortable. So we're reading that story to our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren. But why do I say great-grandchildren? Because it has a happy ending. In the future, in the not so far off future, we will be co-creating with Source in such a way we don't have to age. We can stay here. We can morph our bodies. We will be able to work with time and space and scientific quantum principles that we can actually create our own reality, work with like-minded souls, and create communities of abundance and peace and safety and trust on this earth plane. Okay? So we are in a stage right now of observing dissolution, discreation. It's almost like going through the fire. And after the fire, we're not even at the end of the fire, but there will be debridement time of pulling off the charred wreckage of the dissemination and the ridding of the rubbish. It's like burning up the fear-based rubbish behaviors and thoughts, buildings, systems, government, everything that is not in alignment with humane principles, with goodness for all. So we're in the fire. This too shall pass. The fire may even get greater. And this too is prophesied this time. An astrologer said 2 weeks ago, the second week of January, all the planets in the story of Earth, and specifically geographically United States, will be a great energetic uprising that will bring defense sources and trouble in an entirely shaking. Now we get to decide how the story ends for each individual, no matter what happens with this consensus bubble of reality. Remember I just said, as we're moving along and realize we can co-create our own environment, it's not delusional. We created this. We create everything. You bought your house, you bought the carpet, you picked the partner, you pick the food, you pick the thoughts. We do these meditations so you can slow down and say, this house is not sustainable. This partner is negative. This food I'm putting in is not so good for my body. We must make in 2021 a commitment to ourselves to layer upon layer balanced vibrational health. Because if you still have one dark area, guess what? That becomes the spouting well in the future until that gets out. So this is the year of getting real and getting healed. So all of this pain will pass for you sooner. You can join with like-minded souls and create a new reality, knowing that that is the ultimate path for Earth. And when we are reading to our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren, great-great-great-grandchildren, if you decide to stay here, it will say, there was a certain time when mankind got so tired of this that some people said, I am now choosing to work with universal law, with God, with spirit guides, and with the spirit of other like-minded souls and like-minded people. And I am choosing a new way on this earth now. And that will move forward. And remember, the law of resonance, those that are choosing fear will have their own bubble of reality. And you will have your bubble of reality, and the two will coexist without mingling, because that is the divine plan. That is why I do these meditations, to invite you to get on the bus, do the work, clear yourself, open your channels, and join other like-minded people. So this too will pass. And the ending to this story, the story of Earth's great rebirth day, where she was washed away intensely, and then the sun shone. And that is evolution in its natural way. And right now we're in the middle of this burning the house revolution. Okay? So there's nothing for us personally to be very distressed about other than our own energy field and our own homework. Okay. So I know a lot of us are very sensitive and we're probably holding stress during the fiery revolution. So let's work with that first in the meditation. And number two, we'll just take a look at ourselves, see what needs to be relaxed and removed, and then make your bubble nice and clean and clear so that your thoughts, your health, your choice, and your consciousnesses are moving you ahead in the order for your highest good. Okay, let's take a nice deep breath through the nose and out through the mouth. I'll let you enjoy this view here. Take another deep breath through the nose and out through the mouth. We ask and intend to set a sacred space. We place a beautiful hold on of balance over our entire physical body. Only energies of the highest light may be in our space now. We remove everyone else's thoughts about us. We remove the news. We remove everything so that we may come to a place of stillness, to a place of calm as we still our thoughts. We ask and intend that any stress from the events occurring within and around us related to these revolutionary changes afoot, we ask that all of that stress just melts away as we recognize this is the zig and zag with a happy ending. Take a deep breath through your nose and out through your mouth and imagine that you are absolutely grounded, dropping down a grounding cord from your base chakra and anchor right into the reality of Earth that you choose, the one that is bright, shiny, deeply connected with the galaxy and universe and goodness and truth and beauty. And choose that. Choose that your vibrational field is anchoring into this frequency pattern. And that everything else is just kind of like a wet dog shaking off the fleas. Earth is going through cleansing and healing, but you are anchored in, safe and solid. And you are observing all of this. Take another deep breath through your nose and out through your mouth. So just as if you took a little peek on this screen and you see this garden gate, and imagine that your new world, your new way of being exists beyond that gate. And there's just a short list. And this is the list. Am I connecting with my Creator? Am I listening and responding and loving myself through my thoughts that are positive and life-giving? Am I feeding my physical body life-giving forces, supplementing my nervous system, my digestive system, so that I may hold the high vibrational states and vibrancy of an alive and awakened conscious being here to assist humanity? Am I insisting that my environment support me no matter how small or large, I make sure that it is filled with laughter, beauty, order, cleanliness that gives my physical senses, my sensory system, a sense of calm and peace, that I can rest and be assured that these changes in our social fabric will move towards a new wholeness. So I, for myself, am choosing wholeness, wholeness in my mind to deter negative thoughts, to release any negative thought that comes in, and to love and forgive others' negative thoughts as they express their disappointment, anger, and misguided words. We just forgive it all. We choose to be observers. Because if we earn the golden ticket to walk through that gate, it is the place where negative thoughts cannot exist. Because through that gate, your thoughts and your actions, have a great effect. You are understanding your role as a creator, and you are choosing only love, only kindness. And through that gate dwells on the other side like-minded souls who would never hurt you or imagine a miscreation. And so to walk across that gate, that is the oath that you take. Goodness for all and harm to none. So imagine in your heart, is there any other grievance, sadness, negative self-behaviors that you are ready to lay down at that garden gate? Take a deep breath and just imagine that you are breathing them out, because there's no need to carry all of that forward. So just take a moment to do an inventory. Which areas of your life, behaviors, relationships, food choices, physical exercise, artistic expression, how you spend your time? Do you take full responsibility? Are you seeing others as beings of light, perhaps misguided? Take all of this into your heart as you are making the decision. Are you ready to go through that gate? And I'm going to say that you are, because in a moment, we're going to walk through that gate. It doesn't mean you have to be perfect or stay there forever. But let's walk through that gate with no baggage in this moment, so you know how it feels. Humans cannot reach out and want to be somewhere they've never been before. But it is safe to go through that garden. And we want to experience that vibration as a new anchor and touchstone for all that we are and do. So in this moment, all you have to do is just take the oath. I ask and intend to release all heaviness, past fears, grief, and baggage from all aspects of myself across time and space. I am now choosing to experience a new song, a new vibrational milieu, a new world. I want to be the new song for Earth. I want to hold that new vibration. So I am saying Yes. Take a deep breath through your nose and out through your mouth, and without any thoughts, step into the garden gate. 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps, you're in. And yes, you are worthy. And yes, you are invited. You are seen for the divine soul, the beauty, and the goodness that you are. You have been a child given misguided stories and been treated according to old human stories. And here in this new world, all is forgiven. You are free. Notice how your body feels. Notice what you see. Notice the horizon, the sky, the colors. Notice the light. Notice how your heart feels. Notice that the Creator, God, the energy of the Goddess, is all bright and present here now in this world. As I say that, the garden chimes started ringing. Anchor this feeling. It's like a flower that is blossoming and opening in your stomach, in your heart. We ourselves were seeds, and now we are blossoming in the warmth and safety of this perfected, divine, soft, safe world. Take a deep breath and believe it and integrate it and bring it into your bones, your muscles, to be safe, to not have to defend yourself. Give this world a name. Give this world a name. And now look back at the gate and look back at the world burning. Look back and see all the kind people who are alone, who didn't know their way to the gate, who didn't know there was a way out. They prayed old religious scriptures that have a certain leveling off point. They truly were not invited into the garden where they could be empowered and wouldn't need those religions anymore. Look out into the world and see all the kind, wonderful people in this tsunamis of the fear, power-driven miscreations now fumigating and composting themselves powerfully. Know that this gate will not be open forever, that there will be a sealing of sorts, a sealing up, and you are choosing where to reside. And you are choosing to avail your eyes and your assistance to anyone who looks for the gate. And there you are, your eyes, your kindness, your song, your project. You are there poised to be a servant in service to those still needing guidance and light and hope. You are that inspiration, for they know how you struggled with earthly decisions and disasters and illness and all the foibles that humans bring in their stories. They'll see that you've mastered that and they will trust you. You will be a very credible, strong leader. Take a nice deep breath. And now in this moment, you decide. I know where I decide to reside. right at the gate. My feet are in both worlds. I am available to the revolution as it goes through its evolutionary changes to assist and support those frozen in fear who haven't seen the gate for the divine plan. But I keep my heart and my mind in the high vibrational realm. It does no good for anyone, myself or those I promise to serve. I just keep one foot and I keep my eyes gazing out over to be visible, to be available. But at this moment, until the gates are sealed, I choose to keep my heart free and light. Take a deep breath and decide where you want to position yourself. How does it look? How does it feel? This will be your guiding compass for the days ahead. Excellent. So now, as we finish this meditation and you've made your decisions, we will very gently come back, as we do every week. We will come back here now in our body. Open your eyes. And if you chose to be in the higher vibrational realm, know that you're still holding that high vibrational realm right now. That you are in this physical earth environment, and you also are connected and still in a divine vibrational realm that allows you to see other team members to co-create with, other kindred spirits, as we assist and move humanity to a more cohesive, harmonious future in these next few short years of tribulation. So that's the story for today. The little book in the future we'll be reading to all the little children coming in, how Earth made her transition back to kindness and goodness. So, as always, we'll conclude this meditation by putting a beautiful golden resilient egg around our entire energetic field, sealing in this vibrational rebalancing based on your using your will and your choices to hold this new vibrational balance and perfection. Take a deep breath. Yes, it's possible to walk through this world and to feel good and balanced no matter what's happening. We just did it. We anchored it in. So this brings closure to this week's Be the Light meditation. And I will stop the recording and I'll sign off on this part, and then we'll just have a little discussion. So for those of you that are new, I am Jan Jorgensen at soundandlighthealingarts.com.